All right. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Round 5, GSM Elite. This will be one half of the matches that will decide who gets third place. I think if Ijisu wins their match and Chikara loses their match, one of them could potentially be, or Ijisu could potentially steal that third from them.
Yeah. So, is last match kind of important for rounding out the rest of the placements? We already know that Deep Blues and Tomo are going to be our first and second seed. They're playing each other right now to figure out who exactly is getting first and second. Doesn't really matter though, because only the top 2 teams are going to play off in grand finals and set play. So it looks like we're about ready here to go. I'm not really sure who. Oh, I can figure that out though. Okay, so Mr. Graham probably playing.
It's going to be Hitzel, Lux, Arashi.
Oops, I actually forgot to change the map. So, whoops. I was too eager to think about.
Can't multitask, man.
No, I was too eager to think about what team was what. So that is my bad.
So going into the map list, Wahoo World Splat Zones, Piranha Pit Tower Control, Starfish Clam Blitz, Manta Maria Zones, and Snapper Rainmaker.
Yes, that's the proper map list.
Yep.
Not what I was going to do.
Wahoo Zone's probably the only good mode on this thing.
I don't mind Tower on Wahoo.
I haven't played any Tower, so I don't know. But
Tower's not bad,
yeah,
in my opinion. But definitely Splat Zones and
let me shut this door again. I totally forgot about it.
Yes. Those 2 are really the only ones that are good, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely Rainmaker's pretty bad. Clam Blitz isn't quite as bad as Rainmaker, but it's still definitely not the best Clam Blitz map.
Teams should be joining. Same pass. Same pass. Same pass.
Same pass. T-Max all the way up to level 15. That improvement.
The grind.
Starting that grind.
Nice.
7 levels since Smash and Splash. Nice. All right, Mr. Lean getting in quick.
Yep.
Nobody else.
Just waiting on the rest to join.
Come on, Clockwork.
There they are. There's Ross at least.
I haven't seen Ross been playing much lately, so it's good to see him come back.
He hasn't been playing much since SNS?
Not that I've seen.
Okay. Ross playing on Clockwork at Smash and Splash 4 back at the beginning of this month.
Almost.
Just need one more here. I think it's Arashi that we're waiting on.
Arashi, hurry up.
I wonder how many of these players instantly go back into like the shooting range and start shooting dummies as soon as something like this happens.
Do
it's
it.
just like, there he is. All right. Before anyone leaves, what T-Max, what Trevor, what side want clock? Okay, Ijisu is alpha. So Sir Grimm, Flyer, and Zutter. All right, we're in it.
Okay, so Splat Zones Wahoo World. I actually really love Dynamo on this, but I don't expect either of these teams to run that because I don't think any of them play Dynamo. But
not that I know
I would be pretty thrilled if I saw it.
Arashi, I could see Arashi doing something crazy, either custom dually sculptures or...
Custom dually sculptures,
I could see him going Tetris.
He does vanilla Galugas in random places, too. Like, he does a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah. He's honestly very unpredictable. As a result, always a joy to watch play because you never really know what's going to happen.
There's always some random pop-off from Arashi that you just never expect.
Arashi's one of the kind of what I like to call diamond in the roughs. He's a solo queue star, but he hasn't really been able to transfer that into any sort of consistent team play.
I mean, he hasn't been on a team that I know about consistently. I
right,
think he
that's
subs
exactly
for everybody.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So he's kind of like the guy that kind of just wanders from team to team subbing.
Yep.
So I don't know. Arashi at the same time is very good. He just if he got a nice environment to help refine a lot of his skill and a lot of his decision making, he could consistently be up there. I think. Yeah, personally. Ross had an insanely good tournament at SNS4. To be perfectly honest, hard carrying in my opinion a lot of games that Clockwork was playing.
And if he wasn't, Perps did it.
Yeah. So
and I was just there trying to make that.
Yes, DJ played on Clockwork at SNS.
I was there.
Ross.
I was doing something. I'm sure.
So yeah, so we're gonna get right into this, and I'm interested to see the comps, the weapon comps.
So a pretty standard comp coming from Ijisu, and then all kinds of weird coming out from Clockwork, of course.
Ross playing the Octobrush, interestingly.
And a Firefin, and a Mini Splatling, and those custom dually sculptures. So basically the only actual meta weapon is the custom dually sculptures, or at least in the West. The Charger's kind of been making a big appearance in the Japanese
we
scene
haven't
lately.
we haven't seen a Charger yet today, so I wanted to hop on Lux, get a chance to see how he's doing this. I know that Lux has been. I've been seeing him discussing how interesting he thinks, Lux being a Charger player, how he thinks it's interesting that Chargers are coming back into Japan. And I haven't really seen him play Charger at all in the longest time, like months and months. Mainly playing heavies. He gets a nice kill.
That's why they pick it.
The Inkjet, and that's why Chargers are coming back. And the meta of Inkjets and Rapids, both kind of maybe slower or more predictable movement coming out of those two. Chargers are great counters to that.
Yep, so Lux doing a pretty okay job so far. He's not landing all the shots, but he also hasn't had many opportunities there. Going to maybe a little too hard with that bomb rush is going to make him get picked off. So now Ross is the only one alive.
Mr. Lean actually getting taken out by the Inkstorm. Ross gets the cleanup after he lands. He knows where one is. He saw the bomb and he sees the jump. Can he get one? I mean, he delays the zone, so that's good, but he has to back off. I think that was a really good play overall, though, and acknowledging that he can't do that and backing up and staying alive.
Yeah.
Waits for his teammate. Lux coming back with the bomb rush since he wasn't able to use most of it last time. Lux goes down again, though.
Yeah, I think Ross really needs to use the lower level a little bit more here with this Octobrush. He's doing okay, but yeah, he's just being a little too plain up front.
Important kill on the Rapid, and Clockwork actually gets the zone here.
Nice. So now they're going to have a little bit of control here. Octobrush obviously really good at sharking underneath ledges to like just take people out. So Ross is going to, Ross is just going to want to sit right here.
He gets revealed, though, and he doesn't respond fast enough.
Did he just get stuck there?
It looks like he got stuck, and then, like, I don't know.
It almost seemed like he put his controller down.
Yeah. It's just, well,
it's like,
I've accepted my defeat.
It's like, oh, I'm caught. Sorry.
You guys saw me once.
You got me,
boys.
You got me. You got me. You got me, man.
It was a little weird, but
control back to Ijisu.
Yeah, I almost called him Ijara because I'm so used to saying Chikara as of late. The baller being popped by
That's a lot of bombs.
And Ross coming off the flank again. That's a little bit better again. We really want to see him going down low and try to use those different avenues, cause some chaos. That's what brushes are really good at doing.
This is actually, looking at the way Ross is playing this, I actually see potential in Octobrush on this map just because how quickly it can move from point to point as far as attacking the zone, but it's also really good at abusing those walls and jumping on people. So
bomb rush going off.
I'm feeling a little more confidence in this Octobrush, actually.
I mean, when you think about it that way, it does make sense. Having some more mobility really help when moving from the far right to the far left. Being able to kind of shoot over these little walls around mid is also very strong. It has some parts, but will it work in a team comp scenario? So far it is, but we'll have to see.
I mean, the main thing is that they're doing it in addition to a Charger, and the Charger, I mean, we haven't been on Lux the whole time, but it doesn't really seem like he's getting a lot of picks here. And
he's not really moving anywhere else. Every single time we've gone to him, he's been literally in this exact same spot.
Yeah, and the main thing you see from Japanese Chargers right now is they're constantly repositioning themselves just to make sure that they're getting these picks off of people and surprising people. So right now, not working out as well, but they do have control of the zone right here, and if they're able to hold for another like 10 seconds or so, they're going to get the lead.
Yeah, and just nowhere really to be seen on the map right now. It seems like they're all kind of just painting up for specials in their spawn. An Inkjet popped from really far away. Nice by
kill.
Lux.
I mean, if he does that every time, that's all they need, really. And now they get the lead here.
Nice
that's a double there from Lux, and now they're set up to kind of knock out here.
Ijisu basically has to rush the zone at this point with how far away the spawn point is. Yes, that are getting cleaned up by Lux again. And that's the other thing. People haven't been playing against Chargers so much that I don't think they're used to the range, especially the scoped Chargers.
Well, I mean, not just used to the range, but also not used to having to not sit out in the open. Like, you can't just sit on top of a high ground for free anymore. Like, you have to be worried about angles from the Charger, and obviously that not going so well for Ijisu there. So maybe we'll see more out of Lux with this Charger here. I almost be willing to bet that he's playing on the condition that he can practice Charger. So
that sounds like a very Clockwork thing to do.
It's a very typical Lux thing.
Yeah. All right. Tower control to Piranha Pit coming up here. Looks like one team is making a sub. Looks like it's Ijisu.
I used to hate this mode in Splat 1, but the changes that they've made to it, I actually like it a lot more than I used to. It still kind of annoys me that it goes to the right as the enemy's pushing, so it makes it like really hard to kind of stop the beginning of the push, but it definitely plays a little better than it did in Splat 1.
Yeah, I think the checkpoint system really does help out because even if it, once again, as you mentioned, it does go right, it kind of moves almost away from you initially, right? So I kind of agree, but again, with the checkpoint system, kind of balancing that out.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to assume this is the other player. Very good. Comps. Do you
I
think
actually
Lux
think that Charger
will go
will
Charger?
still work here.
Yeah,
I think he
so
might
too.
switch to the other one.
Yeah, I don't want to see a scoped Charger here personally.
No, I think he'll stay scoped, but I don't think he's going to go Firefin. I think he'll
Really?
go to the Stingray.
See, I don't know about that because I feel like, granted, I don't know the ranges of the Chargers, but I feel like a unscoped one might be a little bit better if dealing. A lot of inkjets get popped around the conveyor belts, right? And they kind of hover on the top of the conveyor belts. I think an unscoped Charger still has the range to apply pressure to those inkjet players that are hovering around there, while also having the more mobility to move around on those smaller platforms because there's not a lot of cover up there for the Chargers.
I think the main thing, though, is when you look at the reasons Japan is using the Charger right now, they're using almost exclusively the scoped ones.
Yes.
And that's because of how much easier it is to actually land their shots. Like, up until now, people were just assuming that the unscoped ones were better because of Charge Keep, but we're also kind of now realizing that Charge Keep, you know, it's cool, but it's not as useful as just landing more shots is. So
Perhaps,
we're definitely
yeah.
seeing a lot more of that.
Arashi busting out those vanilla glugas that you were talking about earlier.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't get it. It's just worse.
Yeah. Why not just play end parries?
Or like literally anything else.
Yeah.
But
He gets
whatever.
nice
He's getting
two-shot.
kills.
I mean, the sad thing. Okay, maybe it's not sad. The interesting thing
It's
is
sad.
that it works for him.
It's sad.
Somehow it works for him.
I'm never
going to
understand it. Anyway, Ijisu here, able to get initial push here. His front line, though, is kind of dying right now. Lux trying to get out of his spawn. This is looking a little scary right now for Clockwork, actually.
Yeah, Lux missing a lot of shots here. Still applying pressure, but at the same time, really not getting anything out of it.
I
does
don't
charge
think
up
he was
his
going
Ray.
for landing shots there. I think he was honestly just trying to charge Stingray right there.
He does get one kill off the Ray. Gets another member weak. Looks like it was Mr. Lean as Mr. Lean gets back in the tower. More drops coming in. He really needs to start landing some shots here, though. He gets one nice one. He's running low on ink, so he's not going to be able to get too many more. Takes out the Sprinkler. Sprinklers being a nice...
Clutch sprinkler kill right there.
Yes.
Let's go, Lux.
So this is the nice thing about Chargers, though. They are able to sit back from so far and actually still have an impact on the game. You don't really have to worry about those inkjets that much.
And people constantly give Chargers a bad rap for like not having good turf control, but they're actually pretty good at supporting teammates like with turf because they can do it from so far away and they do a lot at once. So it actually works out pretty well right there. And even though he wasn't landing shots, he was influencing the team a little bit just with the paint.
Yeah. Hensel plopping the armor after his teammate lands with the inkjet, or from the inkjet. I don't know if that was intended or not.
I think he just got it, so he just burned it as fast as he could.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of sounds like a Hensel thing to do. Hensel notorious for literally just farming up armors. That's pretty much been his main play style, or just farming up specials in general. In Splatoon 2. Gets kill off the bomb, and that's actually 3 down for Ijisu. So
I'm not sure who got all those kills, but good on them. And now Clockwork's going to have an advantage here going into the second checkpoint. Nobody protecting him from the left here, though.
No,
so
no one applying pressure
no
out there.
follow-up, and that just
So
immediately dies.
It completely kills the push right there.
Yep.
You need to defend the tower, and not just defend it. You need to be in front of the tower.
Yeah, or, I mean, you can have Lux on that ramp there, but he was also looking towards the right side of the map rather than in front of the tower, and, you know, that basically decided that the push was going to just end.
Pretty much. It's unfortunate. They had a really good placement up until that point. Mr. Beta getting a nice flank onto the tower. Gets taken out by Lux with a nice shot. And it's kind of just fighting around mid, although Clockwork does kind of have the tower stalled a little bit on the left. The issue is, again, there's not a lot of members to kind of support the tower.
Yeah,
they're
but
now
they are
getting
getting the
there
kills
now.
to make it happen.
Yep,
So it's 3
3
down
down.
there. If they can kill Mr. Lean or at least zone him back far enough that they can actually get this push going, this will be good. Lux still riding
Oh, he
tower,
almost
though.
stayed alive. Almost stayed alive.
man. So Mr. Beta finally gets cleaned up there.
There's a lot of just chaos going on.
And that tower is almost around that little bend there, so they can stop worrying about the left and start worrying about the right. But Arashi, only one on tower. Oh, man, this is looking pretty weird here.
It is weird. If this
They
it
do
comes
get the
down to
lead.
this fight, nice.
Nice.
So Mr. Beta was in position, but it looked like he just wasn't able to land 1 or 2 shots there to help kind of stop that push a little bit earlier.
I mean, they were so close to the lead at that point. Like, I think the
probably would have gotten it
point
anyway.
momentum would have kept going anyway.
Yeah. Pops the inkjet here, applying the pressure. The Glugas of Arashi here to fight back.
This is really early, and he's not getting the kill that he needs to.
Yeah, he's not painting, and he's just going to get surrounded and he'll get taken out by the
Nice.
Glugas and the Autobahn.
Nice calm play there from Arashi, not getting too worked up there, and ends up killing Mr. Beta.
Clockwork doing another strong push here with inkjets and armor being used together. Lux does have that Stingray up high with this charger, applying pressure. He knows that Heavy's over there, trying to make sure he can't do anything with it.
Oh, you don't know how he didn't die to Mr. Beta right
No,
there. Oh, gosh, there's so much weird stuff going on right now.
it looks like there's just a lot of conversion not happening. People missing shots, or bad positioning, or specials being used at kind of inopportune moments. That was a very nice shot from Lux.
And from both teams. It's
Yeah,
not just one team
not
doing
just
it.
one team. It's kind of back and forth. A little bit of a slobber knocker going on around here.
Slobber, no, you're such an old man.
Yes, I am. But that's
oh my
okay.
gosh. Anyway, so Hitzel, riding tower. 34, I don't have totally lost myself. Just the blaster lives. So it's 3 down actually. So this is actually going to be a pretty deep push.
This is a very deep push towards the end of the game too. So the only con with this is actually moving the tower closer to Ijisu to give him a chance for war.
But they wiped again.
But they wiped, so it doesn't matter. That's going to be game most definitely. They might even they don't quite get the KO. But
oh man, that was kind of a weird game.
It was weird. So now Clockwork taking a 2-0 lead.
2-0 lead for Clockwork, which means if Ijisu can't run this back right now, they are out of contention for 3rd, which, you know, would basically mean no matter what happens with the other side. Wow, Ross that must have been the person that was getting the kills.
Yeah, apparently we found that out.
So SNS wasn't a fluke,
Nope.
just so all of you know.
Ross really starting to shine a lot in this game, for sure.
Anyway, going into Game 3, Starfish Main Stage Clan Blitz. Honestly, I haven't played this enough to really decide whether I like it or not because it has until now it wasn't really in any of the monthly rotations.
The new Nintendo system of having a monthly map pool, which is
even
good.
before that, like our rotations for our tournaments as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, which is good. It's a good change, but as a result, you can kind of see things. I honestly don't remember the last time I played on Starfish Main Stage until like BNS or even actually probably GSM Elite 2 weeks ago. I go, wait, this exists? I forgot about this. So what's very interesting about Clan Blitz on Main Stage is the basket placement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the basket placement isn't somewhere closer to mid like it is on some maps where it could be placed up on snipe. So for example, Humpback is very, very close. The basket's very close to mid.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's actually all the way past pit towards the plat just underneath your spawn platform. And as a result, it actually gives some interesting positioning possibilities for the team that is on the offensive. Being able to sit up on snipe and safely kind of have an elevated platform to throw clams in for points.
Mm-hmm.
And it also makes it a little bit difficult for teams to defend because you have to push out further. You have to push out in front of the basket, and in order to do so, a lot of times you're actually giving up a height disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
So it plays a little bit differently than some other Clan Blitz maps.
It does have those annoying positions, though, because once the push is started, like there's a lot of safe places you can throw clams from that the enemy can't deal with, and it's hard to kind of figure out where you're throwing them from.
Yep.
So it's really kind of annoying to end pushes on this map. I mean, that's the main thing that I remember when I played it a lot, or when I was playing it when Clan Blitz first came out, but we'll see how it has developed in the meta with this game here. Mr. Lean going with that vanilla L3 again.
They're actually going out with Glugas, although the
Yellow
variants,
this time. The actually good one this time.
Yes, the good ones. Baller's very good on Starfish Main Stage in general, and also on Clan Blitz, so makes a lot of sense.
Yep, so one thing, though, is no blaster here coming from Ijisu, which is actually kind of a mistake, especially in this map, in my opinion, just because of being able to clean up people on those ledges is actually really important. Rashi getting a really important... was that a 1v2 right there that he just got?
Well, no, that was Lean fighting a 1v2. Lean actually traded with Hitzel.
Oh, okay.
So Lean killed Hitzel, and then Arashi was able to clean up Lean.
Nice. So Arashi here just looking for, kind of some sort of opening that he can kind of push up.
Pops the ball. Whoa!
Oh,
the baller dropping from the sky. Very interesting play coming out here. The power clamp staying alive because he's jumping to Mr. Lean. Is he going to be able to get it in? He is. Liar's able to pop it. But there's 3 down for Ijisu because they weren't able to get the other power clamp in. I think that was the idea. Is they had 2 power clamps they were making that push for.
I mean, 1 clam is always worth it on the first push specifically, just because
I don't know about that.
If it's there's always those games in Clam Blitz where neither team scores for like 4 minutes.
I definitely agree with that, but on a map like this, Arashi getting a very nice double kill and opening up the basket. Here comes the power clam, jumps in, 2 of them.
Oh my gosh,
wow.
That was nice there from Clockwork here. That's going to put
Lux is able to throw another one.
Oh my
in.
gosh,
4 power clams
way.
and 1 push.
Oh man,
Woo.
That's a sick push right there. Pretty much an example of why we need to make it so jumping can't do that.
Actually don't agree with that change, but we can talk about that after the game.
Anyway,
so as I was saying though, on this stage, because of how safe it is to throw more clams in, I think this is one of the few games where you don't have that stalled push, especially in competitive team versus team environments, maybe in solo queue. But in team versus team environments, usually it's pretty clean where you get a lot of points from teams in one go rather than suicide pushes.
Yeah, just because it's so easy to safely score.
Yep. So I think Ijisu is kind of facing the consequences of that decision because that literally gave Clockwork 1 extra power clamp. Mr. Beta falling on the water there, unfortunately. But it gave Clockwork that 1 extra power clamp, right? So that we did see that play a role.
I mean, it was still a good push with or without that extra power clam. But that made it, from
it could
like
be
deadly to
40 to 67
beatable
rather than 20 to 67. Lux getting a very nice direct here. We haven't seen Lux play Rapids yet because he played Charger both the previous games, but Lux is actually a very good Rapid player.
I mean, I know he's been practicing it since the patch just because it's ridiculous right now. And
yeah, and it's not even a Rapid Pro, it's just a Rapid Deco. So popping this Inkjet here. Wow.
Whoa, my gosh.
Nice kill.
That hit.
Yeah. I guess it's cleaned up by Mr. Zutter, but at the same time, because of his pressure, his team's able to move in and get some more points on the board.
Back down to 20 again.
So that gets rid of their penalty, but they aren't able to improve their actual score. But their penalty now is almost half. Is actually
exactly half.
Exactly half of what it was before.
Yeah. So this will be an opening. All they need to do now is have 2 clams. So it's actually almost a bad idea for Ijisu right here to go for a push unless they know they're going to knock out, because getting a free power clam right now to
nice
Clockwork is a really bad idea.
Arashi going very big there, rolling, getting in, saving his rolls until he gets the power clam to roll backwards, keeping this pressure of scoring opportunity alive for Clockwork. His whole other team goes down
and revealed,
but he is able to stay alive. Yep. And if he's smart, he's going to jump to a teammate and not to the spawn, which he is smart. All right, so we're back kind of to a
not bad
fight over mid.
Not bad decision making there from Arashi. Now he just needs his teammates to follow up so that they can have these 2 power clam push.
Liar teleporting there.
What is going on?
I don't know. Liar going in deep for the kill. Specials being used left and right. I have no idea who's actually coming on top of this. It looks like it's Clockwork. Yeah, Clockwork actually managing to get 2 there.
But Mr. Beta still in position here. If he can get... he doesn't have any clams.
Yeah,
but
the power clam being jumped in, but I just don't know if that's...
It's always blocked by the wall and everything. Wow.
Does that actually stop the power clam?
Yeah, it'll like smack into it, I think.
Wow. Very important thinking coming out of Arashi yet again. Think of that. Arashi's playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well, and that is going to open it up. That's the free power clam I was talking about.
Yeah.
So all Clockwork needs to do is get 2 of the 3 power clams that they're going to have right now into the enemy basket to win this game.
Yeah, and...
Well, Mr. Lean's still going? Oh, it doesn't get it in time.
He does get the trade. So, yeah, here we go, though. The Clockwork, again, has those 2 power clams. We're just taking a quick look at the map here. We see a lot of even spread, but it's almost game. And
no power clam on the side of
a power
Ijisu.
clam. I don't think
they're not going to get it in time.
No.
Oh wait, Zutter's 1 clam away.
And it's just they weren't able to feed him any clams.
So nice 3-0 there from Clockwork. Definitely some moments where Ijisu seemed like they could take the lead, but Clockwork overall showing more dominance.
Yep. All right, so with Clockwork winning that 3-0, I think that does give him a chance to get. I think
no, they have.
Does that give them? I don't know. I don't know the placements.
Let me
look
at the standings.
Yeah.
With them winning that, that puts them above Ijisu, which gives them 4th. So they are getting, I think, at least half of their money back.
Yep.
So good on them. Good
and
result.
then it looks like Ijisu is finishing in 5th. Monarchy finishing in 6th. Chikara was pretty much guaranteed that 3rd position. And it looks like Tomo beat Deep Blues. Tomo cleaning with not dropping any set losses in the bracket, including a 3-1 win over Deep Blues. So Tomo comes out first, Deep Blues comes out second. To round out this tournament, we will be doing one more match, which will be grand finals between our first and second team, going to be Tomo and Deep Blues, featuring some set play here.
Yep, and if you're not familiar with set play is basically 3 best of 3 sets with each set having a different mode. So, first set I think is splat zones for this one. So if you win 2 out of 3 splat zones, you win that mode. Moving on to the next mode, I think he's either tower control or rainmaker, and if you win 2 out of 3 there and 2 out of 3 in the first set, you win the whole set.
Yep.
So, or the whole match.
Yep.
So
game, set, and match.
Yeah. So it does a really good job of showing basically how good each team is at each mode, and kind of giving a better example of like a good example of
a team's overall skill across all various modes,
Yeah.
rather than specializing in just splat zones and being able to win a best of 5 because they're able to play 2 splat zones during that best of 5.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that coin, it allows each team to kind of adapt to a mode as a set goes on. So, say you're in Clam Blitz, the Clam Blitz mode. Oh, nice